There's a surprise agreement tonight that may head off a Russian invasion of eastern Ukraine. The U.S. and Russia, along with Ukraine and the European Union, negotiated a deal in Geneva today, where we find our State Department correspondent, Margaret Brennan. Margaret, what happened?
Well, Scott, expectations were low for today's meeting here in Geneva. So when the diplomats actually came to an agreement, Secretary Kerry called it a good day's work.
The deal was reached after nearly 7 hours of negotiations. It lays out concrete steps that are meant to help restore security in Ukraine. The agreement requires all illegal armed groups to disarm and hand over seized buildings. In exchange, they'll be granted amnesty. All sides must refrain from violence, extremism, and anti-Semitism. International monitors will help Ukraine's government restore order. And the new Ukrainian government promised to allow greater autonomy to parts of the country, a gesture to the pro-Russian separatists. Kerry said the U.S. and the European Union would hold off on any additional sanctions until they see if Russia and the armed separatists comply with the deal.
What is a specific time frame and specific consequences if these steps are not followed through on?
We expect in the next few days, over the course of this weekend and the earliest part of next week, some of these steps need to begin to be seen and be evident. But if there's a clear indication that this is moving in the right direction, then our president will make his decision, and the leaders in Europe will make their decisions.
Russia has not agreed to withdraw the nearly 40,000 troops that it has stationed along Ukraine's border. But today, the Pentagon said it would send aid to strengthen Ukraine's military. That, though, is only going to be non-lethal gear, items like helmets and sleeping bags.
Margaret Brennan covering for us in Geneva tonight. Thanks, Margaret. Later today, President Obama said this about the deal.
I don't think we can be sure of anything at this point. I think there is the possibility, the prospect, that diplomacy may de-escalate the situation and we may be able to move towards what has always been our goal, which is let the Ukrainians make their own decisions about their own lives.